Inkanenezo ke mbukeli uyibika lokuqala kwenqayizivele ekhaya Jikelele okuwuhlelo lwakho luthanda ukubhuba uhlelo lwesidlo sasekuseni siyabingelela ke mbukeli mina igama lami nguNonxolo wakomwala intombi yasematshalini umantshinga ongacoshi asakwazi ke kulinda mbukeli umgodla wethu ugcwele uyanyinyitheka sikuphathela nje konke ongakudinga indaba umhlahlo wesimo sezulu kanye nokunye okuningi angihambi ngedwa ngihamba nentokazi yaphaya kwaXhosa ukholosa kwaLubisi
ewe ndimlo ukholosa wakwaLubisi umadlo ngothi maziphi umamshukuma umazondwa ngezinto zakhe masibotise ke mbukeli apho ukhoyo mhlawumbe ke usekhaya usemsebenzini usendleleni kodwa akunani ngoba sikuzela ngqo kulo ndawo ukuyo namhlanje ke ngolwesibini umhla wama-21 sivuke ke limathumba ntaka kwaye ke lingathembisi ukuba liza kuchila ngoko ke wena uza kuphuma silungiselele ngoba eneneni isimo sezulu asisathembeki wena mamtshali kwezintsuku uthi uvuka lingathi lichilile ngokuhlwa imvula nanso isina kodwa ke mbukeli ungaxhalabi kangako ngoko ke uvimba wethu sinaso isimo sezulu nokunye ke ongathi ukulindele kuquka ubhaliso lonyulo uma we-pop crew kuninzi nje mbukela wena hlala nathi uthi zava sikhahlele kaloku napha kubabukeli bethu ke SABC Plus amadenga wetyala masijonge eziphala phambili.
There have been more children killed in Gaza in the last month than children killed the whole of last year in all combined conflicts.
Uhulumeni wakulelizwe uthi usulinde inkantolo ethetha amacala amazwe omhlaba ukuthi ikhiphe incwadi egunyaza ukuboshwa kandunankulu wakwa-Israel njengoba ziqhubeka nje ingqushunqushu.
Eligible voters registering for the first time were 568,000. 2.9 million voters.
Bamalunga namakhulu amahlanu namashumi amathandathu anesibhozo amawaka abantu ababhalisele ukuvota okokuqala kule mpelaveki.
Themba kamazizi nonzotho lona nguNosifikani uManzotho ubukele iEkhaya Jikelele apho ufumana indaba ezemidlalo nezenkcubeko kanye nezamaciko afana nami hlala ubukele ngolomvulo uyotsho ngolwesihlanu.
Uhulumeni waseNingizimu Afrika uthi ulindele ukuthi inkantolo yamazwe omhlaba i-ICC ikhiphe incwadi egunyaza ukuboshwa kandunankulu wakwa-Israel uBenjamin Netanyahu maduze nje.
Ikhabhinethi kahulumeni wakuleli lifuna ukuthi inkantolo yomhlaba i-ICC isheshise uhlelo lokuthi kuboshwe bonke labo abaphaka impi eqhubeka eGaza ephehlwa yilakwa-Israel. Uhulumeni wakuleli ufuna kuphenywe undunankulu uBenjamin Netanyahu.
There have been more children killed in Gaza in the last month than children killed the whole of last year in all combined conflicts. So what President Putin is accused of by the ICC and in a warrant of arrest issued for, it's picnic compared to what has happened to children and women in the Gaza Strip, and therefore President Benjamin Netanyahu must be held to account for that, and the global community must take action, and the ICC must lead in that front.
Ikhabhinethi libhunge nangombiko wocwaningo olwenziwe iNyuvesi iHarvard ohlonze ukuthi ukufadabala kokulethwa kwezidingo zomphakathi eNingizimu Afrika kubangelwa kakhulu uhlelo lweqembu elibusayo lwe-cadre deployment ngokuqashwa ezinkundleni kwalabo abazwelana ne-ANC.
There's nothing wrong with cadre deployment. You have to deploy the people who understand your policies, who will defend and agree with you in terms of mandate. But the challenge that you have is whether you are deploying the right fit, and the ANC will address that. But I want to clarify another point, which I didn't do. Majority of public servants, whether in national government or in provincial government or municipalities, they're not ANC members. They may vote ANC, but they're not members of the ANC. They've not been deployed by the ANC. They work there.
Udabelo lwezimayini ikhabhinethi lithathe isinqumo sokuthi ligunyaze imali engaphezulu kuka2 billion wamarandi ezosetshenziswa ukulawula nokunqanda ubugebengu obuqhutshwa yilabo abamba ngokungemthetho ezimayini.
Uceba uMargaret Arnold we-African Independent Congress uchongwe njengosomlomo omtsha webhunga lesixeko saseRhawutini emva kokugxotha kwaColleen Makhubele.
Amanye amalungu eSkopa athandabuze uhlelo likahulumeni lokusula izikweletu zomasipala abakweleti Eskom igidi zamarandi. Mbukeli okwamanje ke sijike qhu ngapha ngaseyitolo sizobuya emva komzuzwana.
Enkosi kakhulu Mbukeli ngokuba usahleli nathi apha ekhaya Jikelele. Singathanda kaloku ukuxolisa ababukeli into yokubana ngaphambili kumanqaku wethu siye sabana maginxe-ginxe kodwa ke uvimba wethu saqhubeka kunjalo nje usaphuphuma. Xa sihlabela mgama ke Mbukeli uceba uMargaret Arnold we-African Independent Congress uchongwe njengosomlomo omtsha webhunga lesixeko saseRhawutini emva kwagxotha kukaColleen Makhubele.
I-Democratic Alliance ayizange ibe ingxenye yomhlangano okhethekile wokuqoka usomlomo omusha womkhandlu waseGoli. Umholi waleli iqembu kulomkhandlu uchazela umhlangano njengokusashazwa kwemali yabakhokhintela njengoba kusalindwa ukuthi umphathi walomasipala udlulise isinqumo senkantolo esithole ukuthi uqoka kwakhe kwakungekho emthethweni.
The Johannesburg Council must be dissolved and we will not give legitimacy to the Doomsday Coalition while they are being frivolous with the taxpayers' money. This whilst we are waiting for the city manager's appeal to be heard on the 22nd of November 2023.
Uqoka kukasomlomo oqhubeke ngaphandle kwe-DA, i-AIC yaphakamisa igama lika-Arnold ngokuqokwa ngaphandle kokuphikiswa. U-Arnold ubese efungiswa enkantolo yesifunda eGoli.
I, Margaret Sharon Arnold,
swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa.
Swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa.
And will obey. Respect and uphold the Constitution.
And will obey, respect and uphold the Constitution.
Amanye amalungu eSkopa athandabuze ngohlelo lukahulumeni lokusula izikweletu zomasipala abakweleti Eskom igidi zamarandi.
Umphathiswa wezimali uEnoch Godongwana kutshanje udize ukuba komasipala abangama-67 abafake izicelo zingama-28 eziphunyeziweyo ezishiyekileyo zisahlolwa ziqinisekiswa.
Municipalities who've religiously paid their electricity are told, well, tough, you've paid, there's no incentive for you. And we give an incentive to those who are delinquent.
Kukho imiqathango ehamba nesisibonelelo equka ukuqokelelwa kwengeniso ethe xhaxhe kunye nokuhlawulwa kwetyala lika-Eskom rhoqo.
What are the systems in place and what is it that we are going to do differently so that the citizens do not accumulate debt?
Amanye avakalise ukuxhalaba ngelithi iza kuthi gqolo isenzeka nalento esithi ingabangela abanye omasipala bangahlawuli kuba benethemba lokubonelelwa.
Debt relief in the absence of consequence management reforms, restructuring in the spaces where this challenge is taking place may solve Eskom's problems, but it does not solve the municipal problem, nor does it ensure that this will not recur.
Nakuba kunjalo urhulumente ukholelwa ukuba ukulungiswa kweengxaki zika-Eskom kungajongwa ukungahlawulwa kwakhe ngomasipala akuzukunceda nto. Tingilulama Matya weendaba ze-SABC eParlamente eKapa.
Bamalunga nama-568 amawaka abantu ababhalise ukuvota okokuqala kule mpelaveki. Oku ke kudizwe ligosa eliphezulu lekomishoni yonyulo uSimon Bubulo ngethuba benikeza ingxelo emva kobhaliso lokuvota xebe.
Njengoba nje ikhomishana ezokhethe imeli IEC bethula umbiko namhlanje kulandela impelasonto yokubhalisela ukuvota, izikhulu eziphezulu sale khomishana uSimon Bubulo uveze ukuthi babalelwa ku-2.9 million ababhalisele ukuvota kule mpelasonto esiphuma kuyo, abangu-2.7 million bayifikele emathuphe ey'khungweni zokubhalisela ukuvota kanti abanye babhalise ku-internet.
The majority of the voters, that being 2.7 million, visited voting stations to register as well as update their personal details. A total of 196,000 used the online portal to do the same.
Ngokusho kwezikhulu esiphezulu sale komishana babalelwe inkulungwane engamakhulu amahlanu namashumi ayisithupha nesishiyagalombili ababhalisele ukuvota kokuqala nqa.
Eligible voters registering for the first time were 568,000.
Ifundazwe Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal kanye ne-Eastern Cape izona ifundazwe ezintathu ezibe nabantu abaningi ababhalisela ukuvota kule mpelasonto esiphuma kuyo. Isibalo sabantu abasohlwini labazovota sesikhuphuke safinyelele egidini engu-26.8. Kusenjalo, le komishana yezokhetho ibonge bonke abantu ababhalisele ukuvota. Silindo kuhle ngidi endabeni ze-SABC.
I-National Freedom Party ithi nethemba lokuthi izokwazi ukuxazulula inkinga zawo zangaphakathi ngaphambi kokuqala komkhankaso wokhetho likazwelonke longonyaka ozayo.
Abantu bahandisela ukudla noma kuncane.
Iqembu i-National Freedom Party liyaqhubeka nokuba noqhekeko ngaphakathi. Ngo-2016 leli qembu alizange lokubhalisele ukungenela ukhetho lohulumeni bezindawo. Leli qembu linamakhansela alinganiselwa kwangama-56 komasipala bakuleli. Ngonyaka odlule, inhlangano yengamela ukhetho kuleli IEC yamisa ukusebenzisana naleli qembu ngenxa yoqhekeko ngodaba lobuholi. Ubuholi beqembu ke manje buthi makube nobumbano eqenjini.
Simema wonke umuntu oyilunga nomthandi we-NFP ukuthi asihlale phansi uma kukhona lapho singaboni khona ngasolunye asikhulume kunokuthi sijahe ukuthi sihambisane ezinkantolo. NFP sibe sezinkantolo isikhathi eside kakhulu, sicabanga ukuthi sekuyisikhathi sokuthi ngesime ngenkantolo sikwazi ukuxoxa izinto ezithinta iqembu lethu.
Kusenjalo, NFP ithi kumele kusungulwe uphenyo ngokuziphatha kwenhloko yamajaji kuleli umehluleli uRaymond Zondo. Leli qembu lithi ukuphawulwa kukaZondo mayelana nolowa mengameli wakuleli uJacob Zuma kubeka engcupheni ukuzimela kwezinkantolo kuleli.
Sinethemba lokuthi uhulumeni wakuleli uzosungula ikomishana ezophenya ngokuyiphatha kwa-Chief Justice ukuze sikwazi ukukhuleka ngoba njengamanje i-impression esikhona kubantu ukuthi kushuthi amajaji aseNingizimu Afrika abuye afuna ukuyibona ngosopolitiki.
Ubuholi beqembu buthi buzohlangana ne-IEC maduze ukuzama ukuxazulula udaba lobuholi beqembu. NginguSimphiwe Makhanya wezindaba ze-SABC ngiseThekwini.
Abakwa-Transnet babhengeze ukuba bazaqala inkqubo enxamisekileyo yokuthengwa kwezixhobo ezakuncedisa ukothula impahla kumazibuko elizwe.
Tholakala kwenqalazinda yemshini ezolekelela amachweba aseNingizimu Afrika kubonakala sengathi kuzokwenza ngcono isimo sawo. Kodwa inselelo enkulu ebhekene ne-Transnet ukutholakala kwemali okuyiyona okufanele ithenge imshini efunekayo.
We need to caution that this is going to take time. And nothing is going to happen overnight. We have indicated that many a times that we would need to invest in the following. The first one is that of improving our infrastructure. Many of our infrastructure equipment has deteriorated and has passed its economic useful lives.
Abengamele umkhakha wamalula athwala impahla bathi isibitya sokugcwala emachwebeni siwumthelela owenziwe yi-Transnet ngokwehluleka kwayo ukuhlela amachweba ngendlela efanele.
I'm much more positive that she has the right thinking about where she can take the business, in particular on the port side, which she has a lot of experience. She needs the support of government in one way or another. I'm not sure how they can afford it or if they can afford it, but without money, because that's now the shortcoming, that's where the problem lies, unless she can get the right kind of assistance from the state.
Ubuholi bakwa-Transnet buthi sebuzoqalisa nohlelo lokuqeqesha nokuthuthukiswa kwamakhono ezisebenzisayo okuzosiza kakhulu nasekutheni izinga lamachweba abalwe nalawo athuthukile emhlabeni.
Umndeni womfanyana oneminyaka eyishumi ubudala waseNanda eThekwini usabisa ngokuthathela izinyathelo zomthetho umnyango wezempilo emva kokusokwa komfanyana okungahambanga kahle.
Ngichama ngaphansi angichami njengalendlela lecama ngayo abangani manje bajwayele ukuthi bangihleke.
Umfundi wesikole samabanga phansi uthi usekhathele ukuba inhlekisa kwabanye abafundi. Nathi lokhu kumphatha kabi ukuthi uzithola kulesimo. ukusokwa okungahambanga kahle kwenzeka ngenkathi kunecamp yokusoka ngenkathi kuvalwe izikole ngoJune.
Nanokuthi lokhu ngiphatha kabuhlungu ukuthi ngingakwazi ukuchama ngendlela echama ngayo abanye abafana.
Ubaba womfana uthi udokotela kanye nomtholampilo baziswa ngalokulimala komfana wakhe kodwa bangamsiza ngesikhathi.
Bebekela udokotela angarespondi udokotela ayithulele kuthe emva kwesikhathi uzothi ingane ngoba nakhe siyipholile nakhona vele iphola kwayo vele ilimele.
Udokotela ozama ukubasiza bathi ubatshele ukuthi kuzodinga ukuthi umfana ahlinzwe okunamathuba ukuthi kulunge noma kungalungi. Izinhlangano ezisebenzisana nomphakathi zithi lesigameko singenza abantu bangavumi izingane zabo ukuthi zibe yingxenye yohlelo lukahulumeni lokusoka.
If sekunenkinga ezifana nalezi kuzokwenza ukuthi abanye abantu bangabesafuna ukuthi izingane zabo nazo zihambe ziyosoka. Kanti uhlelo lokusoka uhlelo oluhle kakhulu umnyango waliletha la.
Umnyango wezempilo kwaZulu Natal ubungeka Phawuli okwamanje. Londe Khadebe, SABC News eThekwini.
Siyathemba mbukeli ngenene into yokubana olusapho luzawufumana izisombululo kulenyewe abakuyo. Xa sihlabela mgama mbukeli qiniseka kaloku ubangaba uyaphuma uye emsebenzini uye esikolweni okanye nje uzihlalele ekhaya. Qiniseka mbukeli into yokubana uxhobisekile ngesimo sezulu. Kwaye mbukeli njengoko kuyintseni kunezibhaxu zenkungu. Qiniseka mbukeli ubangaba uyaqhuba uqhuba ngononophelo. Rhabula nalo qikelolo lwemozulu. Itumente yebhola ekhatywayo ebanjwa minyaka le esinekeneke eSnake Park eSoweto isoloko ke itsala intaphane yabalandeli. Kulona ke unyaka bengahlukanga nanjengoko abathandi bebhola ekhatywayo bebephume ngobuninzi babe ke kwezi veki zinezidlulileyo beyokuzimasa lo mdlalo.
We're becoming more stable as a tournament, as games more respected in the community, and we then hope that with that type of stability, consistency, and the extra support that we're starting to get from the traders, the players, and even some of the media houses will then help us to achieve what we really wanted to achieve with the tournament, which is to bring infrastructure into this community, especially a sports complex and even trading centers, so that the young entrepreneurs they have something to look forward to Snake Park.
Looking at the masses that are here, it's the voters' weekend, but people have said let's go and register and then come here for the tournament. What makes it stand out from the others?
I think Ogutile tournament, it's not our tournament. It is not the team's tournament or any other person. When we started the tournament, the community said, Lentolena, akuseyethu akuseyabo eyomphakathi, and it's because we've allowed it to take that life, where as organizers and even as the other supporting structures, we do this community firstly to give back into the community and empower people. I don't know what the other tournaments are doing their tournaments for, but this one, the difference with it is a tournament that gives back to the community and wants to promote a Snake Park so that it brings the right investment and infrastructure into Snake Park.
On the set side, we've lost 4 members of the tournament, of the LOC, from the big brother. I mean, Soweto Young Men United, within the whole structures of the tournament.
We were struggling and wondering who's going to fill the gap of the 4 people who have lost their lives, because they played a fundamental role here. There's been peace because it represents what our fallen heroes, Untla, Bambas Manga, Uvusmuzi Sengwayo, no Marcus Mashangu, and even the young Winnie Mandela Tembeni Manana. She was one of the females who were contributing a lot into this tournament and its growth. All those people today, wherever they are resting in heaven, we hope they look down and they are proud, and we thank them for the protection that they've given us to even Sigcine Sesilana, even successful is a Iphela namhlanje.
Enkosi kakhulu ngokuhlala nathi mbukeli. Sihlabele mgamakeni ovimba wethu. Ziyanda iziganeko zokubulawa kwamapolisa njengoko kulindeleke ukuba enze umsebenzi obalulekileyo wokukhusela isizwe. Njengoko ke sisiya kwiholide zehlobo kulindeleke ukuba amapolisa asebenze ubusuku nemini ukukhusela uluntu. Namhlanje ke umbutho wamapolisa ePopru uza kuqhankqalaza enkundleni ngenjongo zokuvakalisa umsindo wawo wokuba amapolisa abulawe ngokungenalisini esemsebenzini. Ukuvanga kumbi ke siqhagamshelana nesithethi sePop Crew uRichard Mamabulo. Singathanda ke mbukeli into yokubana simdlumbise into yokubana oludliwano ndlebe luzawuqhutywa ngolwimi lwesingesi. Good morning Richard, thank you so much for joining us.
Morning to you and the viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us. We understand that today you are picketing outside the Magistrates Court in Pietermaritzburg to highlight the rising number of police officers being killed. Have you spoken to relevant stakeholders to voice out your concerns as POPRU? And I mean, what is it that you'd like to achieve from this picket?
Yes, indeed, we have obviously raised the matter around the police killings for quite some time now. It's not a new topic. We have engaged with all stakeholders. And just recently, when we held our policing Izindaba in August in Gauteng, we had extensively discussed around the causal factors and, of course, what we think we should all do as stakeholders to ensure that we end police killings. One of the outcomes from that very same Lekgotla and recently from our National Congress, which was held in Durban, was that there should be legislative changes in ensuring that police killings is considered to be treasonous, but as well as looking into Section 205 of the Criminal Procedure Act, which was basically enacted in the early 1970s, which speaks mainly about the kind of reaction that police should obviously implement whenever their lives are faced with danger. So we believe that some of these legislations should be updated when looking into the recent crime trends and, of course, the fact that we're in a democratic dispensation. Now, there have been over 70 police officers killed since the beginning of this year, and there are many others who are wounded, who've got career-threatening injuries, who can no longer go back to work. But in KZN recently, there have been, just within the past 7 days, there have been 3 police officers killed. And one of the issues that prompted the provincial structure to actually go on picket is because there's a suspect which is appearing today at the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court. We thought that as much as we've got long-term plans around dealing with this challenge, of course, in the long term, there should be some form of awareness. And of course, this is not only a POPRU matter. We believe that communities should definitely get involved because the loss of police officers, it means that the security of our communities is lesser guaranteed. So it's something that prompted our provincial structure to decide that they will be going on a picket, mainly to oppose any form of bail, but as well as to raise the plight of our many men and women who continue to be killed on a regular basis.
You just mentioned that, I mean, in some of the things that you'll do, you'll be opposing the bail application. And I know that, I mean, as a pop crew, you feel that, I mean, the IPID is utterly flailing in protecting you. Would you say that the government is doing enough to support and protect your members? If not, where and how is the government lacking? Because, I mean, recently we saw that, I mean, the IPID will be issuing a bail application on the suspect. Do you feel that the government is doing enough?
Look, we've got government is one of our key stakeholders since they are the ones governing anyway. So we do have regular engagements with them. The problem we've always had has been the fact that there has not been a clear plan from the SAPS management around how to deal with police killings and many other challenges, of course, which we continue to engage with them through bargaining councils. So I think what is common about us and government, rather the SAPS management, is that we are quite worried about what is happening. And therefore, that is why we held our the policing Indaba to look into ways in which we can work together, including other stakeholders as well. So we can definitely say there is something done about it. But of course, it would need a multifaceted approach because dealing with police killings means that you need to have more police officers on the ground. You need to resource them. You need to ensure that there are budgets to ensure that they've got sufficient facilities. You need to look into training as well. So there are numerous other angles that need to be addressed in addressing this matter, and that is where we are at the moment. So we're hopeful that something will come out of it. But either way, this for us is something which is quite important. And of course, as much as we've got long-term programs around dealing with this matter, we believe that these short-term programs are quite important. At the end of the day, crime is not a police matter alone. If communities are not going to get involved in the fight against crime, we are not going to win any battle. We can recruit as many police officers as possible. We can channel in whatever resources, but community participation is very important, and we think that it would be important that we urge communities to also play a role in fighting crime.
And speaking of crime, we understand that there are cases where one finds that police officers are involved in criminal activities. How then do you ensure that your members are not part of criminal activities?
Yeah, look, we always discourage any form of criminality, and I think part of what has been happening is that in the past there have been investigations on police officers themselves who have been found guilty of being in the wrong. And of course, when such cases are actually put forth, it would then be other police officers who would have investigated. So the perception that police officers are generally corrupt is actually misleading, because there are many men and women in blue who are committed to serving the people of South Africa, and there are still those who continue to expose those who do wrong in their name. So we're quite confident that as much as there might be rotten elements within the SAPS, a majority, an overwhelming majority of our members are committed to saving the people of South Africa.
System in the country, it's not doing good services to the citizens. According to Pop Crew, who is to blame and why?
Sorry, I couldn't get that.
I mean, we see that the high number of police killing is really rising. And it seems like, I mean, the policing system in the country is not so doing well, and it's not doing a good services to the citizens. According to you as Pop Crew, who is to blame and why should we blame that person? Who do we hold accountable?
Yeah, look, we don't want to play a blame game. We want to bring solutions. And I think one of the issues that I highlighted are issues that we've put on the table with the department, well, with the SAPS management, rather. Issues around the declining staff complement of the SAPS. You've got just around 178,000 officers in the country, and about 30% of those are based at offices, provincial and national offices. Yet at the same time, SAPS just released the population statistics just earlier, which demonstrates that our population is currently sitting at 62 million people. So you've got a rising population while you've got a declining staff complement. And that, of course, is one of the factors which had led to the situation we find ourselves in. Government policy, for example, should be one of the things that we need to look into, because since COVID-19, there are austerity measures that are being put in place. And part of those, prerequisites of these austerity measures are such that the government has decided to put cost-cutting measures within the public service. That then affects the level of recruitment. It affects the level of whatever facilities and resources that need to be channeled towards improving the situation of our men and women in blue. Not only police, by the way, you speak about increasing the number of hospitals, ensuring that we improve on the infrastructure of our hospitals and many other sectors, of course, within the public service. So that is a common challenge, and it's something that we definitely would like to be seeing reversed.
I mean, the South African service, police services is constantly understaffed. We also have, limited resources, and there's no proper training, as you mentioned before. What do you propose as solutions to combat the killings of our police officers? Mr. Richard, are you on the line? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. I think I've already answered that, because I'm saying that we're working on ensuring that there are legislative changes in the long term, and we believe that it will obviously assist in reducing the levels of killings. But of course, one of the other things that we encourage our members to do in the short term is that they need to act decisively. They need to try as much as possible to work in larger groups so that they are safer together. And of course, whenever their lives are faced with danger, they need to act decisively.
With what you said, with police being short-staffed, would you say that maybe the number of police is outnumbered by the number of criminals that we have in the country?
Well, that's a reality. We've got a private security industry that is 3 times bigger than the army and the police combined in the country. That means that there are 3 times more firearms of police combined with the army of the country as compared to the private sector as well. So that is a challenge as well.
We understand that, this picket is also happening in the KZN. Is it the same with other provinces? And why did you choose KZN? Is it because police are killed mostly in the KZN province?
Well, in recent times, there has been a demonstration that police are being attacked in the province, and the provincial structure felt that they need to take action with regards to that.
Yeah, Mr. Richard, thank you so much for joining us on this very important discussion. We hope that, the picket that you have today will bring about solutions, because really the statistics are really shocking. And this cannot be a norm. We hope that now that you have intervened, or you have maybe chatted to the stakeholders, we will bring about solutions. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Lo ke mbukele besithetha naye bingothethela ke iPop Crew umnumzana uRichard Mamabulu esichazela banzi ke ngoqhankqalazo lwabo olunenjongo zokuvakalisa ukudandatheka kwabo bengamapolisa ngenani elithile kratya lokubulawa koxababo basemsebenzini. Kanti ke mbukele inkcukacha manani ziyaxhalabisa kakhulu ezibonisa into yokubana bangapha yakwe 5,000 okanye ke amacala athe abe kanti ayabikwa ukususela ngonyaka ka2021 ngoApril ukuyofika phakuma March ka2022. Singathanda kaloku mbukeli into yokubana sisizwe sisebenzisane kuba kaloku xa kuzawubulawa amapolisa ithi nathi siluluntu sisesichengeni kuba ngubani oza kusikhusela. Siyathemba ke mbukeli into yokubana ingxoxo ezifana nezi zawuqinisekisa into yokubana wonke umuntu alapha eMzantsi Afrika uzobe kanti ukhuselekile. Kodwa ngoku masithi qhwisi bhatala amatyala evenkileni usabukele iEkhaya Jikelele.
Siphinde sikwamkeleke mbukeli lapha ekhaya Jikelele. Kanti mangabe siqhubekela phambili ngeindaba esikuphathele zona, ababheke izimo eziphuthumayo emkhandlwini igoli basebenzisana nabatshuzi bamaphoyisa bazoqhubeka ke nokuthungatha izidumbu ezimbili ezimuke nomfula ngesikhathi kwenziwa umsebenzi wokugeza emfuleni iClip Refer egoli. Ukuthola kabanzi ke mbukeli ngalokho sixhumana nokhulumela abezimo eziphuthumayo khona egoli uRobert Mulawuthi. Asikubingelele Mulawuthi, sikwamkele lapha ekhaya Jikelele.
Athulise brothers nabalaleli.
Sicela ukusichazela ingabe kwenzekene emfuleni zimuke kanjani ingane?
Yeah, on Sunday morning sithole umlayezo ukuthi khona abantwana ababili abathathwa amanzi intombazane eminyaka about 18 and umfana oneminyaka about 21 bebayenza umsebenzi wokugeza around Refugee River Stream ngapha ngase Elephant Fontaine. So sithi lo msebenzi lo bebawenza ebusuku Saturday night, then bese bayasifonela thina the following day ngesonto, and then bese siyafika siqala ne umsebenzi wethu wokuthungana nawo along the stream on Sunday, and then misa ilona isearch yethu on Sunday afternoon, then saphinda sabuyela futhi izolo siloko sifunana nabo kule ndawo le la siyela khona ukuthi bathi umuntu lo usangoma lezi besiphethe umsebenzi sisibonise khona ukuthi ngathi uthe mabalo kuba busy manje lo msebenzi bese bayahamba namanzi, so ngathi for now kula sikhona manje msakazi.
Ngiyazi ke njengoba usho na ukuthi ngeke nathi ukumisa ukubheka lezi idumbu, ingabe bese kwenzekeni niphazanyiswe yini? Ngiyazi ukuthi ke nemvula ekhona lapha eGauteng nayo mhlawumbe ingaba nomthelela.
Yeah, umthelela ukuthi amanzi i-current yamanzi beyi-strong kakhulu, yiyo besiphazamisa kakhulu njengoba besiyenza i-search yethu, so ngoba nemvula nayo iloko inetha esinye isikhathi isiphazamisa ukuthi benze umsebenzi wethu, so hence sizovumelana ukuthi sizophinda sibuyele futhi namhlanje. But laba bomndeni laba aba-affected ngale ngozi sesibachazele ukuthi ngendlela isimo singakhona manje amathuba wethu ukuthi sithole abantwana laba basaphila awasekho kakhulu ngoba sekuamalanga amathathu manje sekadlulile since lengozi yenzeka msakazi nabalaleli.
Njengoba nawe ke usho ukuthi bese nikhulumile nemndeni ke senibazisa ukuthi njengoba sekuphelele izinsuku amathemba ukuthi betholakala besaphila hayi awasekho, kodwa ke ithemba ke lona lisekhona yini lokuthi ke nithole idumbu zabo?
Yeah, if ukuthi inkulumo ka ubaba lo bekanza umsebenzi yiyo ukuthi abantwana bahambe ngamanzi, siyathemba ukuthi sizobathola kule ndawo lena ngoba sizoyenza isiqiniseko sokuthi around that area sisebenzisa izinja zamaphoyisa, sisebenzisa our rescuers technicians in that area, so siyathemba ukuthi if ukuthi iqiniso ukuthi abantwana bangene laphayana hayi siyathemba ukuthi sizokwazi ukuthi sibathole msakazi.
Yini mulawuthi mhlawumbe engenziwa ukuze kugwemeke izimo ezifana nalezi, ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi ngathi seyithanda ukuthi zijwayeleke, ingabe khona yini imfundiso okumele ukuthi yenziwe nje ebantwini, i-education with regards to izinto enjengalezi?
Yeah, i-education umfundisi fanele kibe khona mhlambe yokuthi sibafundise ukuthi bangenza kanjani ukuthi baphephe uma bayenza imisebenzi, ngoba mhlawumbe uzokwazi ukuthi angithi i-South Africa ilizwe lenkululeko ukuthi umuntu noma ubani unelungelo lokuthi ayenze mhlambe i-practice inkolo le ayithandayo yena, kunganamuntu omvimbelayo ukuthi ayenze kanjalo. So thina singakwazi nje ukuthi sibanikeze ama-skills nje ukuthi bangaphepha kanjani kule mabalo kubayenze le misebenzi le, ngoba sibonile ngonyaka lo odlulile laphana e-Alexander along eJackskey kube nabantu abawu-15 abahambe ngamanzi, bona bayenza babhabhatiswa laphana emfuleni lo wase-Jackskey. So thina njengoba siphuthumayo la eGoli sisesiba-invayithile ukuthi masenza ama-campaign wethu ukuthi bona ama-traditional healers, prophets, izangoma kanjalo, wonke umuntu o-stakeholder kule situation esikuyo ukuthi sithole indlela ezingakwazi ukuthi sisebenzisane sonke, ngoba sicabanga ukuthi as long as mhlawumbe le misebenzi lena iyenziwa ebusuku ukhona imfihlo ebakhona, sicabanga ukuthi angeke sikwazi ukuwina le situation le, mara ukuthi siyasebenzisana siyacabanga ukuthi singakwazi ukuthi sivikele ingozi ezingenzakala, ngoba siyakwazi lokho ukuthi siziba sazoba khona, ngoba isikhathi esiningi ngale isikhathi lesi saka-December sibona ama-incident abamaningi kakhulu ayenzakalayo, kakhulukazi emfuleni lethu, ngaba mhlawumbe eKalfontein, eClipperfield nakhona la ePick Valley along eSoweto. So ngathi eGoli in general siba nenkinga ukuthi abantu bayabhabhatisa kwenza ama-ritual kule ama-river streams wethu. So ngathi sithanda ukuthi sisebenzisane nomphakathi ukuthi sithele ingozi lezi ezenzakalayo.
Mulawuthi uma ngabe mhlawumbe bakhona ke abaholi bendabuko noma izangoma noma izinyanga okuyizo eziye zenze lemsebenzi abalalele njengamanje, ungathini umlayezo ongawedlulisa kubo?
Mina thina umlayezo wethu ukuthi asisebenzisaneni sonke senze ukuthi mhlambe abantu makwenza lemsebenzi le asiyeni nale msebenzi angithi nathi abantu siyazazi ukuthi lezi zinto zenziwa. So inkinga ekhona ukuthi asenze isiqiniseko sokuthi mayikwenza lemsebenzi lena kube khona isepile ithathele phezulu kakhulu ukuthi abantu baphephe makwenza lemsebenzi le. But if ukuthi mhlambe bayadinga ulwazi lokuthi bangayenza kanjani, bayakwazi ukuxhumana nathi. Sinalo ithimba lethu lokufundisa umphakathi whereby siyakwazi ukuthi siye lapho bakhona, kungaba phansi kwesihlahla, kungaba esontweni, community hall, whatever, ukuthi sizokwazi ukubafundisa ukuthi bangaphepha kanjani sasazi nabalaleli.
Ebantwini nje ke abajwayelekile Mulawuthi, imuphi umlayezo ongawusho kubo mhlawumbe emntwini ongathi naye angayithole kulesi simo lapho edinga khona mhlawumbe ukuthi kuthiwa inyanga noma isangoma simtshela udinga uyogezwa emanzini, yiziphi izinto okufuneka ukuthi ke bayiqaphele, noma futhi uma ngabe ke isigameko njengalesi sesenzekile isikhathi esingakanani mhlawumbe ungabanxenxa abantu ukuthi mhlawumbe basheshe banazise nini ukuze nibe niqala umsebenzi wokubheka idumbi isikhathi sasekhona?
Okay, i-advice ukuthi mawuthi uyabheka msasazi kakhulukazi makwenza lo msebenzi iyenzelwa kuleya ndawo le ene-current kakhulu, shuthi la amanzi aba strong khona. So shuthi kufanele kube nesiqiniseko sokuthi labantu labo bazoba safe, ngoba noma ngathi mhlawumbe wakwazi ukubhuda la i-chances yakho ukuthi ungasurvive it's very slim ngoba amanzi asuka anamandla kakhulu. So kubalulekile ukuthi kube ne-safety around that area ukuthi abantu bakwazi ukuphepha, nokuthi if ukuthi khona ingozi eyenzakalayo kubalulekile ukuthi abantu bangafihli, bayenze sure ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi lesi ingozi yenzakala baxhumane nathi kule-emergency services call center yethu ukuthi sikwazi ukuhambe sifike lapho ingozi isasanda ukuthi yenzakale, ngoba manje mawuthi uyabheka kuyingozi le basithinte sekudlule about 24 hours or so ingozi yenzakele. So kuyenza ukuthi umsebenzi wethu ube nzima kakhulu ngoba manje sekudlule amahora amaningi ingozi yenzakele emsakazi nabalaleli.
Sesivala kanje ke Mulawuthi, ngizwile usho ukuthi ke senixhumene nanemndeni niyazisa ukuthi njengoba sekudlula izinsuku ezingaka nje ke amathuba impela ayafiphala. Ingabe nje ke ngiyacabanga ukuthi vele imndeni isosizini, kodwa nje uthema ngabe mhlawumbe uxoxisana nabo wathini umuzo obuwabona kube noma abaphawula bathini bona?
No, banenkinga zokuthi like for instance umndeni kale ntombazana banenkinga zokuthi bayafisa ukuthi mhlambe ingaba namanyathelo athathayo ukuthi umuntu bekayenza lo msebenzi lo. Bathi thina leyo ndaba leyo sizoyekela emaphoyiseni, ukuthi emaphoyiseni bayenze uphenyo lwabo, bayenze isiqiniseko sokuthi mhlambe bangayiphenya kanjani le ndaba. So thina njengomasipala mhlambe into ekufanele siyenze ukupreventa mhlambe ama-bylaws ukuthi sibe nemithetho la kamasipala ezoba vikela mhlambe abaprofita izangoma kanjalo ukuthi mazizoyenza le misebenzi efana nale kube nezinto ezilemgomo elandelwayo ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sivikele ingozi ezifana lezi, ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi indaba yokukhuluma izoba khona ifike sokusiqhubeka isikhathaze, noma manje angeke sikwazi ukukhuluma nje njalo sokukhuluma ungabi noshino nomehluko. So kufanele kube khona umehluko uma sekuzoba khona kanjani, kufanele kube khona masiyenza siqinisa isandla emsakazweni. So ama-bylaws yiwo azosibhedisa ukuthi siqinise isandla emsakazweni nabalaleli ngaphandle.
Sibonga kakhulu ke mnumzane Mulawuthi ngesikhathi sakho namhlanje kuseni.
Siyabonga mthandi nabalaleli.
Lewo ke mbukeli beku Robert Mulawuthi okhulumela ke abezimo eziphuthumayo eGoli besixoxisana naye mayelana nodaba lokuthi ke kunabantu ababili abaminzile laphana emfuleni Clip Refer nalapho okuthiwa khona bekunomsebenzi wokuhlanza obwenzeka khona ke uyasho ukuthi cha basaqhubeka nomsebenzi wokubheka ke izidumbu zalaba ke ababili. Sifise ke sekazuthi ke bangaphumelela ke kulokho kubheka kwabo. Njengamanje ke mbukeli nawe emadlengothi sekuyisikhathi ukuthi sigoqe ihora lethu lokuqala.
Yes sesiyaligoqa bekukuhle noko sibaxhobisile ababukeli saqala kaloku ngokubulawa kwamapolisa sayiqongqotha ngalomba ubunawo obhlungu kakhulu endimemelela nyani into kubana aba basebenza ngabantu kube sintwini kudla ngokuthiwa kaloku ngaphambi kokuba niye emanzini ifike nijonge isimo sezulu akuyiwa noba kunjani ngoko ke ngenene ingaske njengoba esitsho umnumzana into kubana bangafundiseka ngokuba abantu baphathwa kanjani kuba lo mntana ukuthi una 18 years
omunye una 21
omunye una 21 and xa ndiva istory kuthiwa njengokuba ebeye wayo consulta kwathi anofuneka uyenzile le cleansing otherwise uzawutshona jonga ngoku bakwenzeke ntoni ibhlungu kakhulu so nathi ingaske mhlambe kwizinto ezinje sihlale sivule amehlo kuba ngenene umuntu osebenza umuntu ngabantu akenzi kanje ngolhlobo kodwa ke siziqonqotha ngolohlobo ezale iure kodwa ngoku masithi qhwi evenkileni ngaphambi kokuba singene kwiure yethu yesibini
siyabuya nje ke emva komzuzwana.